She prayed for years without ever hearing a child's laughter. One morning, at the bottom of a forgotten well, God answered in a way no one could have imagined. This is not just the story of an abandoned child, but of a love stronger than blood. Listen closely, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see destiny. Aïda was a married woman, respected throughout the village for her kindness and gentle spirit. Her beauty drew attention, but it was her generous heart that truly defined her. Yet deep sadness lived within her. After 3 years of marriage, she had not been able to have a child. Each year, a miscarriage shattered her hopes. In the village, whispers spread. Some spoke of the evil eye. Others said God was testing patient hearts. Aïda chose faith. She prayed in silence, believing that no sincere tear is ever unseen by the Almighty. One morning, with a heavy heart but a determined spirit, Aïda went to see the village imam. Sitting humbly before him, she shared her pain, her years of waiting, and her broken hopes. The imam listened carefully, then looked at her with kindness. "My daughter, trust in God and place everything in His hands. Do good, be patient, and blessings will come to you, God willing." These words entered Aïda's heart like fresh water. She left the mosque soothed, her steps lighter, certain that patience is never in vain. As every day, before the sun rose, Aïda woke up. She swept the courtyard, still wrapped in darkness, and walked toward the well, accompanied by the distant songs of birds. For her, this moment had become a silent prayer. As she pulled up the bucket of fresh water, an unexpected sound rose from below. Faint, real cries. Her heart tightened. Trembling, she pulled the rope harder. Inside the bucket lay a living baby, wrapped in a worn cloth. Aïda stood frozen, torn between fear and immense joy. With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "Lord, if this child is a trial or a blessing, guide me." Without making a sound, she held him close and walked back home, her heart pounding like never before. Aïda brought the newborn home, her heart still trembling. Neighbors quickly gathered, drawn by the unusual commotion. In the courtyard, voices were low, torn between fear and wonder. The imam was called. After hearing the story, he declared that the child was a trust given by God. Aïda's husband silently agreed. Together, they decided to raise him as their own son. They named him Malick. From that day on, Aïda's home changed. Silence was replaced by nightly cries, gentle laughter, and the small sounds of a child discovering life. Aïda watched over him endlessly, carrying him on her back, singing softly to lull him to sleep, thanking God every morning for this unexpected miracle. Days turned into months and months into years. Malick grew under Aïda's attentive gaze. She took him everywhere with her, to the fields, the market, the well. Carried on her back, he listened to her songs and fell asleep to the rhythm of her steps. Every morning, Aïda whispered a prayer while washing his face, thanking God for the life entrusted to her hands. The women of the village watched this mother and child with admiration. "This child came for her," some said. "God never forgets patient hearts," replied the elders. Little by little, the sadness Aïda had carried for years faded away. Her home, once silent, was now filled with laughter and hope. When Malick took his first steps, the whole neighborhood rejoiced. Children ran around him, laughing and encouraging him. Some already called him the son of the well. It was not a mockery, but a story told in the evenings around the fire. Aïda's husband fully accepted him as his own son. He taught him early how to hold a hoe, recognize trees, and greet elders according to tradition. Aïda taught him gentleness, sharing food, respecting the weak, and never mocking the unfortunate. Thus, between labor and tenderness, Malick grew up, rooted in love. Years passed like the flowing river. Malick became a lively and curious boy. He often accompanied Aïda to the well, the very place where she had found him. Each time she approached it, a quiet smile lit up her face. One day, Malick asked her, "Mother, why do you always smile when we come here?" Aïda gently placed her hand on his head and replied, "Because this is where God gave me my greatest gift." At the Quranic school, Malick learned quickly. The imam often said his words were upright and his mind clear. After lessons, he helped Aïda, carrying water, watching the goats, gathering firewood. He never let his mother work alone. As he grew older, Malick began to sense his mother's silent wounds. He noticed her lingering gaze when pregnant women passed by, her prayers stretching deep into the night, her sighs she thought were unseen. Without saying a word, he made a promise in his heart, to become someone his mother would be proud of. At school and in the village, he was respectful and attentive. When Aïda was tired, he stepped in without being asked. The village women whispered among themselves, "She may not have carried a child in her womb, but she gave birth to one in her heart." At 15, Malick began working with the men of the village, in the fields during the rainy season, at the market in the dry season. Always he gave a portion of what he earned to Aïda. "Keep this, mother. It's for you." Aïda watched him, moved, whispering, "May God reward you, my son." Malick also had a gift for calming conflicts. When two youths argued, he would step in with calm and wisdom. Gradually, even the elders began to listen, amazed at the maturity of a boy so young, yet so just. By 20, Malick had become a strong and respected man. He helped build the village's new well, organized aid for poor families, and created a small collective field to feed widows. The village chief often said, "This boy has a heart bigger than his age." Aïda, however, remained humble. She continued her simple tasks, pounding millet, preparing meals, welcoming visitors, yet everywhere she was called the mother of Malick. One evening, Malick told her, "All that I am is thanks to you. You saved my life." Aïda replied softly, "No, my son, it is God who saved you. I only loved you." At this time, a stranger woman arrived in the village. She came from a distant region marked by the years. When she saw Malick at the market, her heart tightened. The young man's features awakened a past she had tried to forget. She quietly gathered information, then asked to meet Aïda. On the appointed day, the whole neighborhood sensed something important was about to happen. Before Aïda's courtyard, the woman knelt. "Forgive me, sister. The child you have raised is the one I abandoned long ago. I was alone. I was afraid. I left him in the well, hoping someone good would find him." A heavy silence fell. Malick, present, felt the ground shift beneath him. His entire life seemed to tremble. Aïda remained silent for a long moment. She looked at Malick, the child who had grown into a man, then at the woman claiming her past. Her heart beat strongly, but her voice stayed gentle. "Sister, you carried him in your womb, that is true, but I carried him in my arms, through sleepless nights, through my prayers. Malick is not an object to be reclaimed, he is a human being." She then turned to her son. "Malick, no one can force you. You are the one who chooses your path." The young man stepped forward, tears streaming down his cheeks. "Mother, the one who raised me is you. I will honor the woman who gave me life, but my heart belongs to you." He took Aïda's hand and placed it on his forehead, a gesture of deep respect. The biological mother then understood that love cannot be demanded like a debt. With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "Allow me at least to see him, to speak with him." Aïda, with her characteristic gentleness, replied, "The doors of my house are open to everyone." Malick stayed close to Aïda, but he welcomed his biological mother with respect. He listened to her story, felt her remorse, and understood that two hearts could coexist in his life, the one who carried him and the one who raised him. After this event, Malick earned even more respect. He did not reject his biological mother, but stayed by Aïda's side, the one who had saved him. He became the village mediator, responsible for the youth, and helped build a small school and a community garden. For every success, every project he completed, he always said, "Go thank my mother Aïda. Without her, I would be nothing." Aïda aged peacefully. She watched her son become a man of integrity and finally understood the Imam's words, "Blessings come to those who are patient." Aïda continued her simple tasks, pounding millet, preparing meals, welcoming visitors. Yet everywhere, she was now called the mother of Malick. Every success of her son strengthened her inner peace. She knew that their bond went beyond blood. It was love, care, and patience that had shaped this man. The village children grew up hearing stories of Malick and his mother, learning that a true mother is not only the one who gives life, but the one who raises, protects, and loves without measure. After these events, Malick earned even more respect from the entire village. He became a mediator responsible for the youth and initiator of community projects, a collective garden, a small school, and aid for families in need. For every success, he dedicated it to Aïda. "Go thank my mother Aïda. Without her, I would be nothing." Aïda aged peacefully, surrounded by gratitude. She understood that patience, kindness, and love had transformed an abandoned life into a pillar of the village. Whenever Malick achieved something, he humbly reminded, "Go thank my mother Aïda. Without her, I would be nothing." Aïda aged surrounded by adopted grandchildren and grateful neighbors. Her home echoed with laughter and songs, and every child growing up in the village knew the story of the child of the well. She understood that true legacy is not material, but that of the heart, love, patience, and kindness shaping lives and entire communities. Even today, this story is told to the village children. Malick was not born from Aïda's womb, but from her kindness. Aïda, sitting in front of her home surrounded by her adopted grandchildren, watched Malick watch over her as she had watched over him. The village's laughter and songs echoed this simple truth. A true mother is one who raises, protects, and loves without measure. Thus, love transformed an abandonment into destiny, and patience and kindness shaped a man who became a pillar of his community. The well, silent witness to this miracle, remained a sacred place where the hearts of men and women remembered that life always rewards patient hearts. She prayed for years without ever hearing a child's laughter. One morning, at the bottom of a forgotten well, God answered in a way no one could have imagined. This is not just the story of an abandoned child, but of a love stronger than blood. Listen closely, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see destiny.